Good evening, Laura Donnelly here, and I wanted to welcome you to the Healing Path. I run Dancing with Ease, Body Brain Balance, and we do Healing Path conversations whenever there are wonderful people who would like to share and talk on the Healing Path about their work or what they're doing. And the thing that is important in this series of conversations is that I meet new people. A lot of them are existing friends, and it's just so fun for me to get together and share conversations and ideas and information about healing. The thing that we have in common is the understanding that all healing begins in and with ourselves, with the intention to heal, whether we use natural remedies, medical remedies. There is an inner choice to make healing happen. So if you're here and you would write your name in the comments and let us know you're here. Brettney has really generously offered to give the first 3 people who show up a hard copy of her book, which we will talk about in a minute. And I'm going to bring her on and let her share a little bit about her life, her journey, why she picked sleep, and then we'll just talk about sleep and dreams and happiness. Hey there.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I see someone has already responded.
Yay!
So my name is Brettney Perr, and I'm an Empath Empowerment Leader. I typically work with empaths or metaphysical practitioners and coach them through a variety of different things. And so as I was surveying my market, one thing across the board was happening to them during the lockdowns and still happening is they were not getting sleep. So for me to do my work, people need to have sleep, or at least a decent grounding of where what I share or, what they reveal, they can actively work on. But if you're lacking sleep, you're not even going to remember to work on it or even take in any data or knowledge or wisdom. Like there's just no space for it because your body is just so taxed and fatigued. So I ended up writing the book, Can I Get Some Sleep, to help support people to get a foothold in their life, to kind of bring that balance back, to kind of get them in the flow of self-care, because that's what sleep is at the end of the day, pun intended. It's self-care. It is the greatest aspect of self-care that you can have. And that's a way of loving yourself. That's a way of nurturing yourself. That's a way your body naturally detoxifies itself. So this happens on the cellular level. This happens in your brain. Everything detoxes itself when you give your body the time and space to rest. So yeah, it's been a huge discovery for myself and my own journey in revealing that. It helps with beauty. Like I have a very slim beauty routine. I don't use a lot of products. I don't use a lot of makeup. And I really don't do much to maintain this exterior. And I'm very grateful for that. But a lot of that comes back to, having the basics of self-care, like making sure that sleep is a priority for me, that I'm getting enough sleep or I'm counteracting the effects of lack of sleep. And that happens, with a variety of supplements, eating healthy, all of that stuff. Meditating is a great aspect of, taking care of yourself and making sure that even if you're not resting, you're still doing something to give yourself that space of stillness, of just like peace. And your body kind of goes into that same state. Like your brain will go into different states of consciousness and that sort of thing. So that all kind of came together in this book along my journey. Originally, From birth to 19, I grew up in a haunted house, so not much sleep happened then.
Yeah.
Of course, I was overweight as a kid. And there's a lot of other stuff that, happened that impacted me. But part of, being overweight was me protecting myself from different things in the world and obviously from the things in my household. So, after leaving that household, thankfully, it's just been kind of like a journey. I've worked in the film industry, which, if people have been paying attention to that, there was a recent strike that was potentially happening with a lot of set workers. And those days are like 18 hours a day. Like if you're one of the last people to leave set, you're probably putting in 18 hours a day. And then you have like a 5-hour turnaround to get back to set and be the first person there because you're like the most important person on set. So yeah, I've been in that work dynamic, which is fun. Like it's rewarding work, it's fun work, but it still kind of takes its toll. And yeah, so as I realized that, I definitely shifted things about and started figuring out like what would help me to get quality sleep the quickest, easiest way possible. And yeah, I wanted to make this very accessible to people in different budgets, in different living situations, so that everyone can at least take one modality from the book and support themselves in getting rest.
That's wonderful. What's interesting to me, I was talking to somebody earlier today about the general stress level of our lives, and and we're like, well, things are moving along, and but there's always another bump with the whole COVID thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, everybody's like, okay, well, they're going to stay home and they're going to have more time. Oh no, people with families were homeschooling, and which you have a little girl, right? And so
Yeah.
so a lot of people had less time to get the things done that they needed to do in their lives, on top of trying to work at home, which is its whole own adventure, and having their kids needing help with schoolwork while they're supposed to be working at home. And then there's the stress of going back, and so I think what I was talking to my other friend about is that the stress level has just risen like a lake or a pond in the rainy season. And when that happens, everything else bumps out of alignment along with that. And I think sleep is one of the things most important for dealing with stress, for dealing with change, as you said. And it's one of the first things to get upset by stress and anxiety and the whole thing. And so I thought it was really important to share your work and to help people think about, like you said, really simple things, and schedules. You talked about schedules. And so if you work nights, then you need a dark place to sleep in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cousin, and she always worked nights in a nursing home. And she did that so she could be awake when her kids went to school in the morning. Mm-hmm. But if she couldn't sleep while they were at school, she was really at a deficit the next night at work. So I'm going to show a picture of your book. Can I show a picture of it now?
Yes, absolutely.
So, and I'm so glad it came. So Brettney sent me this book. Can you see it? There it is. And this, even the title, Can I Get Some Sleep? It brings up that anxiety and frustration when you know you have an important thing the next day. And you lay down and your brain and you were tired and you got all ready for bed and you lay down, your brain goes, And one of the things constantly running through the brain is, I've got to get to sleep. I've got to get to sleep. Can't I just fall asleep so I'm ready for tomorrow? And that, you can even hear the whole thing in my voice, the tension. So what do you recommend for people when they have that happen to them?
So yeah, I'm really familiar with the unending brain chatter. I definitely have experienced that. I deal with anxiety. So that's one of the things where it's like my brain, like you go down to sleep and then your brain's just like all over the place, thinking of like, what do I need to do tomorrow? What's going on over here? Oh, do I need to take care of this? Okay, did I take care of that? Do I need to get up and take care of lock the door? Did I need to? And you're just like, make it stop. Um, so my go-to, which of course there's more references in the book, and this is more in the vein of lifestyle changes and changing up your sleep space. What I personally do is I play Louise Hay's meditations, or there's a Bob Proctor meditation, and then there's like singing bowl meditations, there's nature meditations, and they will play like the whole night through. YouTube is a wonderful place for this, except for the commercials. I really avoid ones that have commercials, or if you pay for YouTube, go for it. The commercials will kind of actually wake you up, snap you out of it, and can subconsciously program things in there that you might not want to have in your brain. So yeah, Louise Hay is fantastic. She's got a voice much like you, like very soothing, very peaceful. And yeah, the singing bowls are great. They're just like frequencies, but it's not too disturbing. It's not disruptive. It's not something like you don't want something with drum beats going on in the background. That's going to keep you awake. Or any music that fluctuates in audio or is very, has an abruptness to it. You want something that's very, soothing, peaceful, very level, balanced, melodious. And that just highlights your brain enough on that, get your brain focused on that frequency or that sound enough that the chatter just stops because you're like, well, what's that? Oh, okay. Okay. And it just kind of calms the brain and you can sleep.
I think that my brother listens to ocean sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and he finds that calming. I like to make sure that I don't have any electronics going on in my room. I set my phone to silent so that if the bank wants to send me my balance in the middle of the night, it doesn't wake me up.
Exactly. That too.
That little buzz thing, I should off. And I don't have a TV in my bedroom, which I really like. Not,
Mm-hmm.
I finish that and then I come back to my bedroom, and my bedroom is calm. Then I don't do a lot in it. It's not too spacious,
Yep.
but I keep it separate. And I try to. Well, I have a long hall, and I never thought of this, but like walking down the hall is like separating from my daytime stuff. And then I go to my room and my bed. I do keep a pad and pencil by the bed so that if I think, like if I wake up from a dream or something, or I think of something in the night and I want to remember it, I've taught myself to kind of write some readable stuff
Mm-hmm.
in the dark without turning on a light.
Nice.
It's sometimes kind of funny in the morning to read what it said. What? And sometimes I write over top of itself, but then that's its own game to unravel.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that the act of actually just writing it down calms my brain down enough. It knows I tried to capture it, and so it doesn't keep cycling it for me to remember.
Nice.
And my friend Laura Gray is here, and that's her page. She said she loves the cover and the title of the book.
Thank you.
I'm going to show the link. If you sign up here on Brettney's page, she will send you a free copy of the digital version. Yay! And the first 3 people who comment here, who are watching live, will get a nice hard copy. I'm so excited. to have it. And one of the wonderful things is that she has a series of, it's like quick and easy things. You can look at the back, like electronic devices. Yeah, don't try not to put those by your bed.
Yeah.
Not to look at your phone in the middle of the night. That's a terrible wake you up habit, because you start to read, and I think that the energy of the phone captures your attention somehow. And my husband has this funny light. It's not even very bright, but if he pushes it at night, it makes a very soft blue, and it says the time.
Woo.
So if you wanted to know the time in the middle of the night, you can find that out. Sometimes I like to know how much more time I get to sleep when I fall back to sleep. So you can sign up on there, and she has a digital version and then the paper version. And one of the wonderful things is that you talk about in here are some natural herbal things like lemon balm, tea, just to calm the system.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody who has a sleep mask, which is kind of scary to me in terms of, claustrophobia. And I have these dreams too, where I can't open my eyes in the dream, and I'm trying to open my eyes. And usually when I get them open, it's morning and I was actually trying to wake up or something. But if I would open my eyes and it would still be black, then I would be really frustrated or something. But she has one. She loves it. It has lavender seeds or flower parts or something, so that when she puts it on and her face warms, it begins to have the infusion of lavender, which is really, I think, I like lavender. Do you use any essential oils, Brettney?
Yes, I love essential oils. Actually, on my website, a friend of mine, I found out through publishing this book that she's also developed a sleep product, and she's big on essential oils. She's a neuroscientist as well. I just did an interview with her last week.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's at the top of the site, front and center. Check that out. So one thing, if you are trying to get in touch with me, it might be best to, I'm having a little bit of problems with the site for whatever reason. I don't know why. I've tried testing it, and I'm having trouble with the subscribing to the newsletter list. But if you go to contact, I believe that should get you there. And I should be able to reach out and give you a free copy of the book, which would be the PDF version. So let me just check to make sure that's good. But
and if you have any troubles, just comment in the comments, and we will find you, and we will get you in touch with Brettney. And she has you can reach her on Facebook. You can reach her here through this. She's in the Healing Path group with everybody, so that you can find her there. And we love technology. I think we just got out of Mercury retrograde.
And it's still hanging on there in the post-shadow period.
Well, that's another thing. The full moon.
Yes.
Do you find that your sleeping energy shifts around the full moon?
Not really for me. Like, I do notice things around me kind of getting a little wonky. But really, no, I don't notice any. But then again, I use these modalities every day. So I really wouldn't notice a difference. Like, I play the meditation every night. So there's not really any way I would, really notice much of anything, unless I change my behaviors or do something that's adverse to getting sleep. So
my bedroom has windows on the west. So when the moon is full, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, is it morning?
Yep.
And then I look out and it's the moon. And so that that there is a, different people have different sleep routines, but I think the disturbances for sleep are very similar.
Yes.
The racing mind is one of those. Caffeine. Now, interestingly, I can drink coffee like after dinner and go right to sleep. But what happens to me is that like about 3 in the morning, I wake up wide awake, like get up and read a book awake, get up and write a chapter in a novel awake. I mean, it's not just awake and go back to sleep. It's awake. So most of the time I try not to have after dinner coffee anymore. I have deduced that is uh, I can't just force my body to sleep through that. But this is the other thing, forcing your body to sleep through something you did that overstimulated it,
Mm-hmm.
that's not really healing. And uh, depending on your blood sugar uh, body's routine, if you drink a lot in the evening, the blood sugar from the alcohol can produce the same, it makes you tired, you fall asleep, everything's cool. But if you wake up, it has the same, not the same, it has a different activate the body routine than caffeine does. But sugar does activate the body and speed it up. So when I was a kid, they kind of sometimes told us that if you ate certain foods, it would give you bad dreams or something like that. Did they tell you that?
Nope.
Kind of like upsets your stomach and gives you nightmares. Don't eat any of this before bed.
No, I lived in a haunted house. The dreams were very bad. So there's definitely something energetically within that space where it's like just the craziest dreams. What could be considered astral projecting. Like at one point I was out skiing with someone in the snow and then like literally felt my spirit just thump back into bed. It's the only time I've ever done like an astral type of thing. But yeah, like there was a ghost cat that would come on the bed and it would be like purring and kneading and I'd look and there was nothing there. And I'm like, that's the least scariest ghost. At least I'm getting a free, kitty massage out of it. But yeah, no, like sleep was not a thing in that household. 2 a.m. There was like one in the kitchen, like walking through as if someone had 2 plungers. Like there was no sleep in the house. Like when I say,
I'm so glad you're not there now. I'm so glad you're not there now.
I know. It just they're jerks. I mean, they weren't malicious, but they just do stuff randomly, and it's like you never know if you're going to be seeing a Victorian ghost girl in the backyard or what's going to pop up. It's just kind of like did not expect that.
Well, one of the things I think is really important for people to remember about sleep is people need different amounts of sleep.
Yes.
I'm like an 8-hour girl. That's just me. And if I go 6 hours, I can do 6 hours a couple of nights. But if I do that for an entire week, I get a sore throat. And that's a real sign to me that I'm not getting enough sleep on a consistent basis. So I think if people listen to their bodies will start to tell them, give them warning signs. Mm-hmm. But really some real dangerous things about not having enough sleep happen to do if you're driving, because like if you're going on a long highway trip and it's monotonous, like where you live, it's a lot of traffic, so it probably keeps you awake. Yeah. But out here, there's not a lot of cars. And if you're driving a long drive, you can nod off at the wheel. That's pretty scary. Mm-hmm. Driving heavy equipment. People don't think about this, but sometimes allergy medicines, they say on there, don't drive heavy equipment if you're taking this allergy medicine. Mm-hmm. But nobody says, don't drive heavy equipment if you're not getting enough sleep. And so the other thing is that I think is really, really key is how quickly you can reset your sleeping system. Yeah. So you wrote the book for your clients. Wrote the book. Where's the book? There's a book. I'm so excited that it came in the mail. I swear sometimes stuff takes 10 extra days to get here because I'm out in the middle of the back of beyond is what I tell people.
Aw.
But so you wrote it to help some of your clients. So
Mhm.
can you have some stories about how quickly people have been able to reset their sleeping mechanism?
So usually there's a bit of a period where you're going to be just extra tired. Like it seems like no matter what you're throwing at your body, you're still going to wake up kind of feeling like you need more sleep. So probably at maximum, it takes like a week to really balance it out. But once again, it depends on how your body reacts to things. It depends on if you've found what works for you or not. It depends on if you're eating a clean diet. It depends on a lot of factors. Also, if you're dealing with depression, depression can send you in the opposite direction of having too much sleep, which obviously isn't good for you either. So you really want to focus on a balance of, you know, restful period and wakeful period, and making sure that you're not getting too much sleep, because then that'll also send you in another direction. Um, so just be mindful of that.
I've never been able to figure out the right length for a nap for me. And they say people have a sleep cycle,
Yeah.
say a 2 hour or 3 hour or 1.5 hour cycle. And if you can discover what your cycle is and wake up, even if you're short of sleep, but you were at the end of a sleep cycle, you have a little better energy that day. But I think that the important thing is to listen to your body, like you said.
Mhm.
Too much sleep is just as bad as not enough sleep. And taking good care of yourself and, and listening, making a dialogue with yourself, you know, what else do oh, I have like favorite blankets. Do you have favorite blankets? Like I have one that's really, really soft. And so it's my in between cold and hot and in between hot and cold. So it's like the fall blanket and the spring blanket. And I think it's important to make your bed comfortable and welcoming.
Yes,
Eh,
I totally
eh,
agree with that.
I have, we talked about this a little bit. I have a consultation I do with people that gives them a little exercise that they can do to refocus their mind in the middle of the night so that if they wake up, they can calm down. And even if they don't fall back asleep, everything is resting. The body is relaxing. The mind has a little its own little tape loop, its own little kind of meditative tape loop that keeps it from going down the oh what if path. And this is also practice. Takes about a week, as you said, for people to um, make this decision. Now, I did work with one person, and she said she tested it for a week, but immediately the first night she turned off her phone and didn't look at her phone all night long, even when she woke up. And she said, even though I woke up, I fell back asleep, and I see that that phone was a problem for me in the middle of the night. And partly she was in New Zealand and they're completely shut down. And she could nap during the day. She said, I totally messed up my body's sleeping and waking rhythm. And so if I woke in the middle of the night and I got up and then I was tired at 7 in the morning, I just went back to bed. And she said, and then I can't meet with people even on Zoom. I can't, my whole thing was out of phase. So she said that she did this and she did the little meditation exercise that's mind and body together, kind of a physical exercise. And she said she fell right back to sleep, which was for her really unusual. So one of the bonuses that Brettney and I wanted to share is that I made a discount code, well, a code, so to get a bonus price for Sleep Now. And I'll put in the comments where to go to put that code so that you can get it. Technology. I think, Brettney, I think you and I are both close, right at the edge of wanting to have some virtual assistance.
We're not making it easy on people. You have to work for your freebie and discount, okay?
You get this stuff, but you have to work for it. No, we'll make it work. And you have a couple of days. So if you have friends who are having trouble sleeping, I would love it. We would both love it if you would share this with them so that they can sign up before the 12th of November, before midnight, so 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because we're going off daylight savings time pretty soon. So you have plenty of time to connect with Brettney, to get a copy of the book in digital form or paperback, and ask questions. If you have questions about sleeping, about how to get better sleep, if your dreams wake you up. There's another conversation on the healing path I had with somebody who is a dream teacher and a dream healer. And so there's resources for you. And Brettney's book is full of really good things, herbs and suggestions for your sleep space to take care of your space better, some lifestyle changes you might want to do, some supplements to help you sleep, just a really beautiful beginning reference to change your habits and patterns.
Yeah.
So I will, again, it'll probably be working in a minute or two because that's how these stupid electronics are. But if it's not working and you can't go there, go to that site, right? This site, canigetsamesleep.com, and click contact and say, hey, I saw you on the healing path. You're famous.
And we did have someone sign up as well. So I got that. Yay!
Yay!
At least the section works. And I wanted to express something too. My book is a quick fix guide. It's, although I use some of these modalities permanently, it's meant for you to have the start of getting good night's rest. But you really need to progress to the next level of figuring out, okay, what's going on that I'm not getting sleep? What is happening underneath that? And I think, Laura, that's where you step in and you support people through that as well, and getting underneath that and helping them to kind of retrain their sleep cycle as well, which is, why I'm like, yay, we get to partner together and do this, because
yes, we have so much fun. We just talk, and we could talk endlessly. If anybody is watching who has a specific question, we can see the comments. If you put them in there, and we would be happy. Or if you have something that you love, like when I grew up, my mom was a dance teacher, and so we never had a bedtime snack because we were trying not to be chubby cheeks. Well, my cousin, my mom's little sister, they had a ritual where they would all go and sit down, and everybody got one scoop of vanilla ice cream. And you could have chocolate syrup on it or not, and a glass of milk. And then we would go to bed. Now, it was had sugar in it, but it also had, is it the L-tryptophan or something? There's something in milk that makes you kind of sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that overrode the sugar. But of course, we were spending the night with our cousins, so it was also a big deal. But I just remember that. And somebody else said, well, if you eat that before bed, if you wake up in the night, you don't wake up hungry and you don't want to get up. So that's just a sleep story from my childhood that was different than in my house. Mm-hmm. My house had a different routine. But pets, did you talk about pets in the book? Pets can be both a comfort for sleeping, and they can be a problem for sleeping.
Yes, they can. I have cats.
Right. And that acupuncture thing is a real thing.
Well, that's the pleasant thing. But when they're running around fighting each other, and then they kind of some people call it the zoomies, they just go crazy and run around in the middle of the night. Yeah, that'll wake you up. That's frustrating.
So there's that. And I had a dog when I was a kid,
Mhm.
And she was a lab, and she would put her tail under the bed when she wanted me to get up, and she would hit the box spring with her tail, and it would echo, and the whole bed would shake. I mean, it was not possible to sleep through that. Now, fortunately, she only did that in the morning when she thought it was time to get up. So, but then I thought about this. My mom always put the cat in the basement. Now, partly it was the cat's job to make sure there was no rodents in the basement or anything. But I think she also put the cat in the basement to keep the cat from waking us up in the middle of the night. So pets are a two-edged sword.
Mhm.
Just like sleep, too much sleep, not enough sleep. So we are glad that you came and visited with us and learned a little bit about maybe ways to think about sleeping and ways to think about. These are non-medical, right? All of this in your book is like natural, pretty much accessible for people to do without investing a huge amount of money, or like you don't need special sleep aids or anything.
Nope.
Go
But just, yeah,
ahead.
be careful with, even with the supplements, like be careful with what you're using. Make sure you don't have any allergies to it. Sometimes if you have, underlying conditions, consult your doctor. Like that's kind of the basic thing to figure out. Also, being more supportive of a broad range of people. There are resources on my website under the resource section. If you scroll down, there's also accessibility for people who are on food stamps. There's options that you can use, sleepy time teas that can help support you, that have like a mix of the herbs that I have in the book. So yeah, there's a lot of support out there, even for people on a very slim budget, to get help.
And it's important. I think we want people to talk to somebody, reach out about sleep. Don't just make yourself sick. Don't run yourself down. Now, there's times like your job. My brother's he's working on a television job right now, and sometimes they go 19 hours, and I'm like, dude, how are you doing? He said, I'm feeling pretty old.
Oh,
but some of these things will help you reestablish your sleep section. And I put this on the Caregiver Central page because caregiving is another thing that messes up your sleep cycle.
mm,
Young mothers, I mean, what they tell mothers is sleep whenever your baby sleeps. Sleep whenever your baby sleeps, because the baby is going to be waking up and all this stuff. But caring for an elderly parent, that can throw your sleep cycle out of whack. And then to re-regulate it. There, regulize. I'm making up words. So to take care of ourselves and remember that sleep is the first basic, most healing thing. Your body restores itself. It rebuilds tissue. It does amazing things in sleep. It stores memories. If you don't get enough sleep, you can't remember stuff. So that's one of the things that I think people forget. They say, well, I'm having trouble with my memory. I need something for my memory. Are you getting enough sleep?
mhm.
Is the first thing I would ask. So Brettney, thank you so much. I'm going to hold up your book again because I'm just so excited that it came.
I have my copy too.
There we go. I can do my man on white thing. Do you remember? And so do please get in touch, people. If you have any questions, make a comment, leave a comment after the thing, share the video. Oh, Laura says she colors before she goes to sleep.
Mhm.
That's a nice calming activity. I sometimes play number games because numbers kind of relax my mind. And so maybe people will share more tips with us, which would be really fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like coloring, because coloring kind of reminds me of like that meditative space of just letting everything else go, and you're just kind of focused on the activity and the art, which is cool.
And then when you fall asleep, you have all those beautiful colors in your mind. So maybe I'll color tonight.
Try it out, see if it works.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brettney. I really appreciate your time and your sharing your wonderful journey and all of the useful information.
Thank you so much, Laura. And thank you for also supporting people in this journey of getting rest and self-care. And I mean, it's literally, with the amount of fear that's kind of going on in the world, I think this is the greatest gift to so many people, is helping them actually rest and get rid of that fear.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Awesome.
I appreciate everything that you're doing. And thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Take care.